संस्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Namaskar to all of you. Welcome to the study of Bhagavad Gita. Let us begin this study by chanting two verses from the meditation on the Bhagavad Gita. Gita Dhyanam. Please chant these verses with me. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puradamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ratavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We shall now chant the 38th verse from the second chapter. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Blessed Lord said to Arjuna, now the Lord is giving out the secret of work. So here afterwards, as I've told in the last session, that there will be wonderful secrets, techniques by which we can calm down our mind. How can we perform the work, our work, without getting disturbed by the unpleasant environment or even not being touched by sin. All that secrets are given out by Lord Krishna here afterwards. We have to note down all these things and start practicing in our life, which will be very, very helpful and which will be very practical. Sukha-dukkhe same krutva labha-labhau jaya-jayo tatho yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Sukha-dukkhe same krutva Sukha-dukkhe same krutva labha-labhau jaya-jayau labha-labhau जया जयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि. We have already spent our valuable time in the last session discussing about this. It's such a wonderful verse that we may have to take 3 or 4 hours going into the details because it's very practical. Here, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna the secret by which you can perform any work, pleasant or unpleasant, but you will not be touched by sin. You are not going to incur sin. When we are performing any work, either we will get one of the result, that is punya or papa. If we do the work with a desire to get something, and if it is on the righteous path, then we get punya. If we do work to get something, some desire, fulfill our desire with selfishness and on the path of unrighteousness, then we get papa. But here Krishna is telling how to do the work in such a way that you will never be touched by the sin. The wonderful example given by Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel is the boat should be on the water, but the water should not be in the boat. If the water enters the boat, then the boat will sink. But the boat is on the water, it will float. Likewise, we should be in this world, but we should not allow the world to enter into us. Now let us see how Krishna helps us here. Having made pain and pleasure, gain and loss. Pain and pleasure is sukha dukkha. Sukha dukkhe same krutva. Labha alabha, gain and loss. Then conquest and defeat. So whether you are getting success or failure, then either, because the whole world which we are is in duality. Anything, heat, cold, everything is in opposites, just like this, which Krishna is telling. Pain, pleasure, gain, loss, conquest, defeat. The whole, every moment, every second you will be having these two things, duality. So what is the way, the attitude by which we have to work? You have to make it same krutva. Having made pain and pleasure, gain and loss, conquest and defeat, the same. Engage yourself then in battle. Here, Arjuna's work duty was to perform as a kshatriya, as a warrior, to perform the battle, war. But for us, the battle of life, every second of our life. So shall you incur no sin. Keep your mind even. Sukha dukkhe, in happiness and misery. Labha labhau, in profit as well as in loss. Yes, when you get profit, you can be very happy. How to keep the mind when you are at loss? When you lose something, how to keep my mind also happy at that time? It's very difficult. As well as in profit, as well as in loss. Jaya Jayo, in victory or in defeat. In all these various changing situations, try to keep the mind as calm as possible. be a witness. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. With such a mind, enter the battlefield, enter the battle of your life as well as your life. Then you will never incur sin. Naivam papam avapsyasi. You will never incur sin if you have this attitude. So, very important, the secret of work or karma yoga is to have the right attitude. So, with this attitude, you will never incur sin. This concept of calmness of the mind is a wonderful concept. Whenever you want to achieve great things, it is not through excitement that you achieve. With calm, silent, steady work, we achieve great things. So now, going forward, we will see that. Let us compare with the life of the animal. We are also animals, but we are better animals. The animal which has the capacity to think, which has a very beautiful faculty which the animals do not have, that is called viveka. The capacity to discern between the right and the wrong, good and the bad, that which is eternal and which is temporary. So that capacity has been given only to human beings. Though we are animals, but we can rise above this animalhood by this beautiful quality called viveka. Take any animal, any impulse, because all the animals are impulsive. When we also start behaving impulsively, then we are also behaving like animals. So any impulse arising in an animal throws its mind into a convulsion. Then it must find an immediate expression in an action. So it will not wait, it will not think, it's impulsive. Immediately it will start acting. That is animal life. But we human beings can stop and think, and then we can act. That capacity is not there in animals. Immediately it will react. So we should not react. What is that we have to do? We have to respond. That is well thought of. That is response. React is impulsive. So the animals, it must find an immediate expression in an action. Then that impulse, after that, it dies away. That is the nature of animal behavior. But in the case of a human being, when he or she has not started training the mind, very often this is the behavior like animal. Okay, that is possible when we were primitive beings in the Paleolithic, in the Neolithic, when we were that long back, millions of years back, primitive beings, that is okay. When we were primitive, we were doing like this. Though even then a certain calmness had come to the human system. How can we bring this calmness? Because nature has provided for it. That every sensory, you see here, you have to note this now, very important thing. What is that? Every sensory input will be observed. You can observe your own thought. Sensory input will be observed. Then passed on as a motor output. There in the animals, there is no difference between this thought and action. It immediately, impulsively, it acts. It cannot think, it cannot watch. But here, that difference can be felt. And what is that? Input, the sensory input, you can be observing it, then passed on as a motor output action. A little gap between input and output is seen. Even this can be seen in the most ordinary men. That is the beginning of a tremendous development in our human psyche. Now, Lord Krishna is just indicating the beginning of that development here in this verse. Just put a little stop between input, the thought, and the output. Suppose somebody abuses me, insults me. What is the thing happening? Immediately you will see the face reddening up. The expression in the face can be seen. You will start reacting. There's no gap at all. Immediately I react, I abuse back. Or even you may go physical too. Don't do so. Just to bring your attention, to break a little monotony, I have told this incident many a times. But even then, I'll repeat it because it is very suitable here to this situation. What is that? There is a very peculiar theory developed by the present CEO of Google and Google Chrome. Who is the CEO of Google? Sundar Pichai. So what is this theory he has developed? Very peculiar name, you see. Cockroach theory of Sundar Pichai. A beautiful speech by Sundar Pichai. He is an IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, is the very top class engineering college. Very difficult to get seat there. So he was a best person from this IIT, pass out, and also he was a alumnus of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology in USA, and now present the global head of Google Chrome. So the cockroach theory for self-development, very peculiar, isn't it? So now let us go with our Sundar Pichai to the restaurant. At a restaurant, a cockroach suddenly flew from somewhere and sat on a lady. So there were a group of ladies who have come there to sip the coffee to that restaurant. What is the reaction the moment a cockroach comes and sits on a lady? I need not tell you, know what will be the reaction. Screaming, running about. That is very common. Wherever you go, whichever classroom you can see, it is a common thing. So what happened? She started screaming out of fear. With a panic-stricken face and trembling voice, she started jumping with both her hands, desperately trying to get rid of the cockroach. Her reaction naturally will be contagious. So other ladies also started reacting. As everyone in her group also got panicky, the lady finally managed to somehow push that cockroach away. But it landed on the next lady. So the same reaction. Now it was the turn of the other lady in the group to continue the drama. All this time, Sundar Pichai was watching this. And now the waiter in the restaurant, he rushed forward to their rescue. In the relay of throwing the cockroach from one lady to another lady, that cockroach now flew and fell upon the waiter. The waiter stood firm, calm, composed himself, and observed the behavior of the cockroach on his shirt. When he was confident enough, he grabbed it with his fingers and he took that cockroach and he threw it out of the restaurant. Now comes the thought of Sundar Pichai. Sipping my coffee and watching this amusement, the antenna of my mind picked up a few thoughts and started wondering, was the cockroach responsible for the histrionic behavior of these ladies? No. If it was yes, if so, then why was not the waiter disturbed by this cockroach. He handled it near perfection without any chaos. So, it was not the cockroach, but the inability of those people to handle the disturbance caused by the cockroach that disturbed the ladies there. So then Sundar Pichai writes here, I realized that it is not the shouting of your father or your boss or your colleague or your husband or your wife or your children that disturbs you, but it is your inability to handle the disturbance caused by their shouting that disturbs you. It's not the traffic jam on the road that disturbs you, but your inability to handle the disturbance caused by the traffic jam that disturbs you. More than the problem, it is our reaction to the problem that creates chaos in our life. So, what is the lesson learnt here by Sundar Pichai? It's also a lesson for every one of us. Lesson learned from this story, I understood I should not react in my life. I should always respond. Those women there reacted, whereas the waiter responded. What is the difference? Reactions are always impulsive, instinctive, like animals, whereas response are always well thought of. Persons who are happy in life is not because everything is right in their life. Everybody has to undergo difficulties, challenges, problems in their life. Everybody. Nobody is left out. So, if any person is happy, it's not because everything in their life is right. That person is happy because his attitude towards everything in his life is right. That is what Lord Krishna is teaching us here in this verse. Samatvam yoga uchyate, calmness, watch the thought. That's what now here we have learnt. What is that? That gap between the thought and the response should be maintained. That is response. That is not reaction. It is thought of. So that is what we heard now, so we can understand. We should not behave like animal. So just put a little stop between input and output. That is your thought. When something comes in this world to you, then think, give some time, then react, then act. Don't do it impulsively. Suppose somebody abuses you, insults you, immediately I abuse back, I insult back. Don't do that. That means you are an animal. You are impulsive, you are instinctive. Many times I have explained about, or I have defined so many times about the beautiful, expansive definition of religion by Swami Vivekananda. I'll again repeat it because it is suitable now for this situation. What is that? Swami Vivekananda tells, what is religion? Religion is the process by which a brute is raised unto man and man unto God. What is this raising brute, animal, unto man? That is human being, and human being unto God. Swami Vivekananda is calling this process is called religion. So again see that same thing comes. Animal is impulsive, instinctive. So if we are behaving like animals, impulsive, instinctive, just like animals, immediately reacting, then we are at the level of brute, animal level. So raising ourselves from this animal level to human level. What is the human level? Thinking capacity, viveka. You can think, you can analyze, you can witness. So you are not instinctive, but here intellectual capacity. So raising yourself from instinctive nature to the intellectual nature is raising yourself from animalhood to humanhood. Should we stop there? No. Is there anything higher? Yes. So raising yourself from the human level to the divine. What is that divine? It is intuition, intuitive level. So this process of raising ourselves from animalhood to human level, from the human level to the divine level, becoming ourselves God-like, becoming ourselves God. Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham is that. Not that suddenly you will become like Shiva or you will become formless like Brahman. No. You are raising yourself from this level of animalhood, brutish behavior, to humanity, human level, from human level to divine level. See what a beautiful way. So that is what here we are seeing. So we should not react. Don't do so. That means you are an animal. Yes, we are animals. We all can tell, yes, we are animals, but we are distinctive from that. There was a situation, the child was confused. What is that the mother told? What was that mother told? Our origin is from God. We are divine in nature. We have come from God. But father was a little scientific. So he told, in science it is told, according to law of evolution, Darwinian theory, we have originated from monkeys, apes, animals. So the boy was confused. Then when both father and mother were there, what is this? Mother, you tell that we have come from God. And father tells that we have come from apes, the monkeys. So now I'm confused totally. Please explain. Both of you are here. Give me the correct understanding. Then the mother told, my dear child, my dear son, I talk about my family. Your father is talking about his family. What can I do? So we are connected to both the families. But now we have to decide what to become now. What should we raise? Should we go down to the animal level where we came from, or should we raise ourselves to the divine level? That is what here Lord Krishna is teaching here. So beautiful, see? So, we should not react. That means if we react, we are animals. And automation, as we say. And always we say action and reaction are equal and opposite. Do you remember something? Yeah. What is that? Newton's third law. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. For every action, there will be equal and opposite reaction. We all know that Newton's third law, very easy to remember. But if you ask what is the Newton's first law and second law, you will be in difficulty. So let us not go to ask that. Let us concentrate on this. What is that? Always we say action and reaction are equal and opposite. That is the mechanical law. Should we also become mechanical like machineries? But in the case of human beings, it can be altered. If the action is 1 unit, reaction can be 10 units, or it can be no unit too. That shows you are free. When life appears on the horizon of evolution, even in a very elementary form, freedom also appears. There is no other definition of freedom. You are not merely a creature, of some external circumstances controlled by the environment, you regulate your reaction. As soon as you start regulating your reaction, you have started achieving your humanness. That is, you are slowly going towards freedom. If you are not doing that, if you want to be still in the animal level, then you are losing your freedom. Then the march inwards is unique. You are handling your own mind. You are creating a sense of calmness within. Great achievements will come thereby. Human evolution begins with the achievement of this balancing of the mind between a sensory input and a motor output. So sensory input is when things happen outside, when you see, when you hear, when you touch, when you feel, all the 5 senses, you get so many sensations. Then your mind reacts. So thought level. So then it materializes into action. So the difference between this input and output, if that goes on expanding, then there will be calmness. That must be strengthened more and more. What is that? The balancing of the mind between the sensory input and the motor output, that must be strengthened more and more. We shall come across this subject again and again, because the whole subject of Bhagavad Gita is the training of this human mind for total human development by handling this world around it, and by handling oneself also in a masterly way, not slavishly. We are now slaves of our mind. We are the slaves of outer circumstances. We are the slaves of our senses. We don't want to see something, but the eyes goes and sees that. We don't want to hear anything, but the ears go and hear that. We don't want to feel something, we can't. So we are the slaves. But when we start following this wonderful teaching of Lord Krishna, then we can handle everything, bring it under our control. We don't remain then a creature of some masterly process outside. Then we are the masterly force handling our life. This must be achieved by every human being. Not that it is impossible. Every one of us have that capacity within. So we have to achieve it. This must be achieved by every human being, and our neurology and physiology today tells us that nature has endowed the human being with that organic capacity to handle one's life from this masterly point of view. He or she need not remain a mere creature. He or she can be free and can exercise this freedom. This is the teaching of modern biology, neurology, and also the ancient Vedanta. Vedanta takes the experience of freedom to the highest level of development. And what is it called? That is called, the highest freedom is called Mukti. We are aspiring for very small freedom. I will just tell you an incident which happened in the life of one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. He had gone to South India to spread the message of Ramakrishna. He started many centers in Chennai. At that time it was called Madras, in South India, in Bangalore and Kerala and other places. While he was there in Madras, presently Chennai, there came a youth. While talking to Swamiji, that is Swami Ramakrishna, his earlier name was Shashibhushana Chakravarti. So when talking to Ramakrishna, the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, direct disciple, this youth told, Swamiji, I don't want your do's and don'ts of your religion. Then what do you want, my child? I'm a youth. I want freedom. Oh, you want freedom? What kind of freedom do you want, my child? What do you mean by that? I want freedom. Do you want freedom for the senses, or do you want freedom of the senses? See, the difference in preposition will change the whole gamut of meaning. Just think about it. Think about that question. Do you want freedom for the senses, or do you want freedom of the senses? He was puzzled. All of us want freedom for the senses. You want to behave as your mind dictates you, as your eyes takes you. While you are driving, you don't want to see the advertisement which is disturbing you. But the eyes goes there. You can't control it because you have not trained your mind to control it. It will rush to the advertisement. Then there will be an accident. Same thing about the ears too. So that's the reason for all the mistakes and accidents, because the senses want the freedom. So this is freedom for the senses. So the youth wanted freedom for the senses. So that's why Swamiji asked him, do you want freedom for the senses, or do you want freedom of the senses? So this mukti is freedom of the senses, the highest freedom. You are not controlled by that, you control it. You are the master. It will act according to you. The tail will not wag the dog, but the dog will wag the tail. Now the tail is wagging the dog. So that is mukti, liberation. You are the master. You will control it. So that is what Vedanta is teaching. That is, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but Vedanta, the essence of Vedanta. So this wonderful development of initial human freedom to insert a gap between input and output experience, that is the beginning of the human march to freedom. Out of that will come a wonderful achievement. Towards the end of this chapter, Sankhya Yoga, after expounding his philosophy, Sri Krishna will give you in about 18 or 19 verses. That's what now we are going to study, the nature of that human mind which has achieved perfect equilibrium. Suppose after training your mind, you become the master of your mind. Then you have achieved that perfect equilibrium. Then how will he behave? Krishna will tell all that. That is called, that particular verses are called Sthita Prajna Lakshana. We are going to study now after some verses. What is meant by Sthita Prajna Lakshana? Man of steady wisdom, who has achieved equilibrium, who is not disturbed by anything, who will be calm in any situation. That is the goal. So that's why he gives that how he behaves, and Krishna will be asked question by Arjuna. Oh Lord, I want to know, how does a man of steady wisdom behave? Sita pragnasya kabasha kimasita vrajeta kim sitadihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. How does he behave? How does he stand? How does he eat? Please explain. Then Lord Krishna goes on expounding about the Sita Prajna. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyeva atmana tushtaha Sita Prajnastadochate. This is the nature of a man of perfect equilibrium. So what if that man is like that? What is that to me? Why is he explaining all these things? The perfect human being, a man of realization, a man who has realized truth and had highest freedom. What is that to me? Because whatever is the end product for that person, Shankaracharya explains that, then that can be your means to attain that. How can you cite an example? If a man of perfect equilibrium will not get angry by any of the outer circumstances. That is end product for him. He'll be calm in any situation. So now for me, that becomes a means. For him, it is the end. Then for me, as a sadhaka, who is starting now to learn, that will become the means. That's why here Lord Krishna gives all the perfect quality. How does he behave? How does he act? Of a perfect man of equilibrium. That will be coming later on. Let us look at that then. But now it is starting. Sukha dukkhe samay krutva labha labha jaya jayo. That is what Krishna is telling here. So, human mind which has achieved perfect equilibrium, perfect steadiness, which the Bhagavad Gita calls Sthita Prajna Lakshana. It is a wonderful word. Prajna means knowledge or wisdom. Sthita means steady. Our knowledge is not steady. It comes and goes. But by training, we can make the mind steady. Our wisdom steady. It's just like, why is it not steady? Yeah, you teach the parrot to tell the name of God. The parrot or the Maina, Pakshi will start uttering Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna, or Ramakrishna, or Shiva. Anything you can teach, it will start telling. Just like now, we will be calm. Outside, we'll be showing off, we are calm and everything very nice with a beautiful look. We can, with the dress and makeup, we can look calm. But that bird, it will tell Rama, Krishna, everything, the name of the Lord. But the moment cat comes and catches its neck, what will the parrot do? Rama, Krishna is gone, kyo, kyo, it will start doing that. Rama, Krishna will go away. So like that, when everything is good, outer circumstance, you are very calm and quiet. But the moment challenges come, the moment disturbances and difficulties come, then you are a different person. So now, all these teachings of Krishna will train you to such an extent that even in the wildest of disturbance, worst of the situation, you can maintain that calm. You can maintain that happiness. You will not be disturbed. I will give the example of Lord Buddha. What is that? Lord Buddha used to go to beg for alms. When he went there, the owner of the house was hating Buddha. He saw him, he got very angry. He thought some monk has come, he wanted to give the alms. He came to give the alms, seeing Buddha, he started abusing him, scolding him, using all the worst of the languages, scolding him. Yet Buddha was calm and quiet, watching him, observing him. After much abusing Buddha and using all the worst words, became tired of scolding Buddha. But yet Buddha was calm, smiling, watching him. And he got tired of that and he stopped. He couldn't scold or abuse him or criticize him anymore. Then Lord Buddha asked him, have you finished? Yes. Now suppose you have bought the alms to give me. If I had received that alms, whom will that alms belong to, food belong to? To you. Suppose I don't receive that alms, whom will that alms belong to? To me. Whatever you have abused, I have not received it. He told and walked forward. Whatever scoldings you gave, whatever abuses, criticism, if I had received it, it was mine. Like the alms. Now I have not. If I don't receive your alms, what will happen? It belongs to me. I have not received your criticism like this thing. Lord Buddha walked calmly. So when you are faced with criticism, scoldings, all the disturbances in your life, if you accept it, then it is yours. You will be troubled. If you don't accept it, it's not yours. So it's in your hand. See, every incident will teach us like this how to be. How can we control it? You have to remember this incidents whenever you are faced with. Then your input and output, there will be a gap. Don't react. Don't get upset. Be calm. See, all the techniques to keep your mind calm, not to get angry, not to be disturbed. These verses are masterly verses at the end of the second chapter. So first the exposition, then an illustration. That is the type of character we must develop in ourselves. So the whole subject is meant for every citizen, not only in India, not only to the priestly class, not only scholars, not only who read, everybody, anybody, educated, uneducated, black or white or colored or whoever, there is no difference. Every citizen, every human being, man, woman, child, how to build up this human equanimity, how to handle this packet of how to handle this packet of psychophysical energy. What beautiful terms, you see. How to handle this packet of psychophysical energy which you have got at birth. How to develop it, expand it, bring out the best out of it. Who is to do it? Each one of us. If you are hungry, if I eat the food, will it satiate your hunger? No. You have to eat the food to satiate your hunger. So who is to do this? Can your guru or can your parents do it for you? No. You, every one of you have to do it. Every one of us have to do it, practice it. Who is to do it? Each one of us. Others can only help you, but the actual work is your own. As the English saying tells you, you can take a horse to the water, but cannot make the horse drink water. So Vedanta repeatedly stresses this point, building up your character. And your life is your own work, your own privilege. Don't leave your life to others to control. Take help from anybody, but the work is your own. And when you develop, the world will marvel at you. Yes, here is one who, with a given capital of psychic energy, has built up a huge business of intellectual and spiritual bliss, spiritual life. Just like any businessman, starting with 100 or 1,000 rand capital, later on becomes a millionaire because he invested it properly and worked hard. The same thing in the case of human personality. How are we to build up on the given capital a big personality which is a great blessing to oneself and to the world outside? That subject will come up now and continue all through the chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Though this is told to Arjuna, he is only an instrument, but Lord Krishna tells it to every one of us. Arjuna is only a nimitta, the instrument. What shall I do with my packet of psychic energy? That is only up to you. Now, we shall analyze this beautiful teaching, because we will go still deeper. We will try to analyze this teaching of Krishna, this technique given by Krishna, how to work, how to behave in our day-to-day life without getting disturbed. So we shall analyze from different angles. We have to study that, how to maintain our calm. Let us take the help of Swami Vivekananda in his complete works in the chapter Karma Yoga, because that is what Krishna is going to teach us now. The next chapter is Karma Yoga, but Krishna is preparing us for this Karma Yoga in all these verses. So now Swami Vivekananda, keeping the modern world in view, is bringing the modern examples and teaching us. So let us take the help of Vivekananda to understand this, how to keep our mind calm. from different angles. Swami Vivekananda tells in volume 1 of Complete Works, page 77, and what is the chapter? We help ourselves, not the world. We all think that we can help the world. We are helping the world. We want to help the family. Without me, the world cannot survive. Without me, the family cannot survive. Without my earning, my wife will collapse, or the husband will collapse, or the children will go away. No, we are helping ourselves by helping others. That is what Vivekananda is telling we should know. Let us give up all this foolish talk of doing good to the world. Because by doing good to the world, you are not doing anything good to the world. You are doing good to yourself. So should we stop doing good to the world then? We have to do good to the world because it will do you good. That's the reason why we have to do good to the world. Yet we must work and constantly do good to the world because it is a blessing to ourselves. That is the only way we can become perfect. No beggar whom we have helped has ever owed a single cent to us. Suppose we help others, never think in your dream that he owes you something. Why? Because we always expect, and we are taught also, when somebody you should help others, he should tell you thank you. If he doesn't, you are disturbed. You'll be in trouble. Oh, I did such a thing to him. He has not thanked me properly. He didn't even tell a word of thanks. He didn't even smile at me. No, he doesn't owe you anything. That's what Swami Vivekananda is telling. When Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj was in the West, in Europe, especially in the West, these things are too much. What is that? Everything you have to tell, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sorry, pardon, that, and this too much. So now the daughter became upset with the mother and stopped talking with her, because when she did something to the mother forgot to tell thanks. She's so much disturbed and angry on the mother for the silly thing that she forgot to tell the thanks. That was the contention, and she's so upset, not talking. Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj was staying in their house as the guest. They were the house. Then after he came to know the reason, he called the daughter, because the whole family respected Swami Ranganathanandaji Maharaj. So called the daughter. Why are you angry on your mother? When I did this work to her, she didn't thank me. Then Ranganathanandaji Maharaj asked her, your mother has carried you in her womb for 9 months and suffered so much of pain. How many times have you thanked her for that? Your mother has taken care of you when you were a small kid, helpless child, where you couldn't even crawl or wriggle out, dirtying yourself with the bed itself and everything, urinating and excreting. She has cleaned you without even a touch of aversion. How many times have you thanked your mother for that? You're expecting thanks from your mother. She didn't tell thank you sufficiently. You got angry on your mother. How many times have you thanked your mother? Then that changed the whole perspective. So don't expect anything from the world. That is the cause of all the misery, expectation. A beggar whom you have helped, given the money, whom we have helped us, never owed a single cent to us. We owe everything to him because he has allowed us to exercise our charity on him. It's entirely wrong to think that we have done or can do good to the world, or think that we have helped such and such a people. It is foolish thought, and all foolish thoughts brings misery. Now, one of the reasons why we get misery, Swamiji is explaining. We think that we have helped some man or woman and expect him to thank us. And because he does not, unhappiness comes to us. See, for no reason you have become unhappy. Why should we expect anything in return for what we do? On the contrary, what should be happening in your mind? Be grateful to the man or woman you have helped. Think of him or her as God and feel is it not a great privilege to be allowed to worship God by helping our fellow man or woman? If we were really unattached, we should escape all this pain of vain expectation. So, what is the attitude we have to have? Here Krishna is telling, labha, alabha, gain or loss, victory or defeat, pain or pleasure, same krutva, is do not be attached to anything, unattached. So if you start doing the work unattached, there will be no misery. When you have attachment, then all miseries start coming to you, trouble. Another way of expressing attachment is expectation. Too much of expectation. That's why we suffer. Everywhere we expect and expect and expect. That's why we suffer. I will tell you a story about this expectation. There was a king coming into his palace. First, he has to cross the fort gate. Then he has to enter into the town and then to the palace. Near outside the gate, the big door of the fort, there was a beggar living there for 12 years in the open. No house, no sufficient cloth, in the sun, in the rain. He was surviving there with what little alms, begging what he gets. Looking at his pitiable condition, the king was going on his elephant back, saw his pitiable condition, told, my dear citizen of my country, I am the king. I am very displeased to see you in this condition. Come inside, come near my palace. Come at the gate of my palace, wait there. I am going to give you clothes, I am going to give you food, I am going to give you all the riches, then you can live in luxury. Come. He was very happy, the beggar was very happy. Then he followed him. Then the minister came. At the door of the palace, some very important discussion, some problem came. He asked the beggar to wait. I will go in, finish this problem and come back and give you all that is necessary. So this beggar started waiting at the gate of now. He has come from the door of the fort where there is nothing, no shade, no this thing, very near to the palace now. He's waiting for the king to come back and give him. So with the minister, the king went in, got busy in all the problems of the kingdom. So much of enemy soldiers coming there and here, all that problem, how to solve, there is that problem, this problem. He forgot everything about the beggar. After 3 days, he remembered, I had promised the beggar that I will give him food, shelter, clothing and everything. So then he came running outside. The beggar was not there near the palace. He asked the guards, where did that beggar go? Sir, he passed away. He died. So we just cremated him and finished. I was surprised. Why? Why did he pass away? He was in the palace, now near the palace. Then he was living in so much of trouble. He couldn't wait for 3 days there. He lived for 12 years in the open sun, without clothing, without food. For 12 years he survived, but he couldn't survive for 3 days, that too near the gate of the palace with everything. Why did he die? Then the minister explained, sir, he didn't have expectation for 12 years. So he survived for 12 years. But here he died because you created expectation. He couldn't survive for 3 days. The king told, I will give you this and that. He was expecting. So he couldn't survive. There, he didn't have expectation. He could survive for 12 years in the open sun without proper food. So, all the misery, all the problems come to us because expectation. We die out of expectation. That is what is the cause of misery. That is another type of attachment. Expectation is type of attachment. Unhappiness comes to us. Why should we expect anything in return for what we do? Be grateful to the man you help. Think of him as God. Is it not a great privilege to be allowed to worship God by helping our fellow men? If we were really unattached, we should escape all this pain. So while working, while living in the world, be unattached to the result. The result will come, don't worry. Be unattached. Don't expect anything. And could cheerfully we will do the work in the world. Never will unhappiness or misery come through work done without attachment. See? Now, Vivekananda has given us the secret. Never will unhappiness or misery come through work done without attachment, expectation. The world will go on with its happiness and miseries through eternity. So, with this story of Vivekananda, I will stop the discussion here. It's a beautiful story. It will open up our eyes. There was a poor man who wanted some money, and somehow he had heard that if he could get hold of a ghost, genie, they call it a genie. So if you catch hold of a ghost, he could command the ghost to bring money or anything else he liked. So he was very anxious to get hold of a ghost, a genie. He went about searching for a saint or some rishi who could give him a mantra by which he could conquer a ghost. And he last found a sage sitting under a tree in the forest, meditating with great powers. And he went and besought his help. So the sage asked him what he would do with the ghost. I want a ghost to work for me. Teach me how to get hold of one ghost. I desired to it very much, replied the man. But the sage warned him, don't disturb yourself. Go home. You are happy. The next day the man went again to the sage and began weeping and praying, give me the ghost, give me the mantra. I want to control a ghost and become rich. I must have a ghost, sir, to help me. At last the sage was disgusted with this man and said, okay, take this charm, take this mantra, repeat this magic mantra word, and the ghost will come and you can conquer that ghost and get the work done. And whatever you say to him, he will do. But he won't. Be aware. These ghosts are terrible beings and must be kept continuously busy. If you fail to give him any work, he will take your life. Oh, don't worry, the man replied. It's very easy. I will go on giving him a lot of work because I have so much of desire. So I will give him a lot of work. I will keep him busy. He was greedy. This is easy. I can give him work for all his life. Then he went to the forest. And after long repetition of the magic word, a huge, fearful ghost appeared before him and said, I am a ghost. I have been conquered by your magic word. But you must keep me constantly employed. The moment you fail to give me work, I will kill you. I will eat you. The man said, build me a palace. And the ghost said, it is done. The palace is built. Big palace came. Bring me money, said the man. Here is your money. He got a lot of money. Said the ghost, here is your money. Cut this forest down and build a city in its place. That's done, said the ghost. Everything came. Anything more? Now the man began to be frightened and thought he could give him nothing more to do. It had everything in a trice. The ghost said, give me something to do or I will eat you up. The poor man could find No further occupation for him. He was frightened. So what did he do? He started running. He ran and at last reached the sage, fell at his feet and said, "Oh sage, oh sir, please protect my life." The sage asked him, "What is the matter with you?" The man replied, "I have nothing to give that goes to do the work. Everything I tell him, he does it in a moment, and he threatens me to eat me up if I do not give him any work." Just then that fearful ghost arrived, saying, "I will eat you up now." And he would have swallowed that man. The man began to shake and trembled and begged the sage to save his life. The sage said, Okay, don't worry. I will find you a way out. Look, can you see a dog there? Yes. Take the hold of the dog. What? If I take hold of the dog, will that ghost stop? No. Take hold of the dog. See the curly tail of the dog. Give it to that ghost and tell, straighten up this tail. The ghost took it, curly tail of the dog, straightened, left, again it curled up. Straightened again, went on straightening, again it is curling. Straighten, it couldn't straighten it up. So he told, in my life I have failed for the first time. I cannot straighten the curly tail of the dog. Straighten that tail for me. The ghost took it slowly and carefully, straightened it out, but as soon as it let it go, it instantly curled up again. Once more, he laboriously straightened it out, only to find it again curled up. As soon as he attempted to let go of it, again he patiently straightened it out, but as soon as he let it go, it curled up again. So he went on for days and days until the ghost was exhausted and said, "I was never in such a trouble before in my life. I am an old and veteran ghost, but never before I was in such deep trouble. I will make a compromise with you," he said to the man. "You let me off go, and I will let you keep all I have given you, and will promise not to harm you." The man was much pleased and accepted the offer gladly. Now, after this story, Vivekananda tells us, because we get into trouble, I will set this world everything right. I will set my wife straight. I will do my husband, control my husband. I will set him straight. My children, the world, my colleagues, all, I will set the world right. You are trying to straighten the curly tail of the dog, and that's why you are in misery. You want to set everybody right, but you don't want to set your own mind right. You are trying to set the curly dog's tail, that's why you are in trouble. This world is like dog's curly tail, and people have been striving to straighten it out for hundreds of years. But when they let it go, it has curled up again. How could it be otherwise? One must first know how to work without attachment. Don't have any expectation. Because of this expectation, you want to set everybody right. You are in misery. So while working, have this clear in your mind. You cannot straighten up this world. In the process of straightening up this world, you will straighten up yourself. In the process of doing good to the world, you cannot do good to the world. The process of doing good to the world, you will do good to yourself. One must first know how to work without attachment, without expectation. Then one will not be a fanatic. When we know that this world is like a dog's curly tail and will never get straightened, we shall not become fanatics. If there were no fanaticism in this world, it would make such more progress than it does now. It's a mistake to think that fanaticism can make for the progress of the mankind. On the contrary, it is a retarding element, creating hatred and anger and causing people to fight each other and making them unsympathetic. We think that whatever we do or possess is the best in the world, and what we do not do or possess is of no value. So always remember the instance of the curly tail of the dog. Then you will not try to straighten up this world or straighten up other people. Whenever you have a tendency to become a fanatic, you need not worry or make yourself sleepless about the world. It will go on without you. Buddha came, Rama came, Jesus Christ came. Has this world changed? Until Jesus Christ was there, this world was right. Buddha was there, it was right. After they have gone, again the curly tail. The world will go on as it is. You can't change the world. In the process of changing the world, you become fanatics, and so much of bloodshed, so much of hatred. So, in the process of helping the world, you are helping yourself. When you have avoided fanaticism, then alone you will work well. It is the level-headed man, the calm man of good judgment and cool nerves, of great sympathy and love, who does good work and so does good to himself. The fanatic is foolish and has no sympathy. He can never straighten the world, nor himself become pure and perfect. He cannot become pure and perfect. So, see how to keep your mind calm. Vivekananda is given no expectation, no attachment to the work. Do it as an offering to the Lord. Just go on doing good. That's enough. By that, the world may not become good because you cannot change anything. But in the process, you will become perfect. You will become free. You will become happy. So how to work without attachment? How to work keeping everything as samatva. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity. How to take everything in an equal way. So Vivekananda has taught us the same thing in a different perspective. So we'll try to follow all these things, keep in our mind, put this into practice in day-to-day life, and enjoy your life. Do not become fanatics and trying to change everybody, trying to change the world, trying to change the home. Change. I will control. No, don't be fanatics. Be a witness. Try to help everybody. That's all. Don't expect anything from anybody. Give to the world. Don't expect anything. Then you will see. You'll be calm and quiet, and you will be happy. You will be happy. You will be keeping the others too happy. So, like this, we will learn day by day. While we are learning, we will bring in all that aspect, practical aspect of Bhagavad Gita, and learn, and also, if possible, take this message to others and give it to others too, so that they can also learn and be happy. Now, we shall conclude by chanting one of the meditation verses of Bhagavad Gita. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.